Greetings and salutations. Ben here. Welcome to the Sunday Night Hanging, well, right here on Sundays. Please subscribe if you're new, and welcome back if you're returning. Speaking of returning, because we just don't get enough of good times with my good friend Charles Greene here, wily veteran of surviving the music scene, literally, which a lot of us did because we're still here. Those who didn't, they're not.
Who says I survived, man? What's going on?
Well, the heart's ticking. You're still above ground, so I
hear you, brother. Right on, man.
Yeah, always a pleasure, my friend. Good to see you.
I love opening up your chat, man. It's good to see everybody. Thanks for having me on. And I was opening up your chat. I love opening this chat because I always see a lot of regular people that I know, and then I always see a bunch of your new subscribers. Your channel's growing. It's neat to see that. It's good to see everybody. Good to see everybody.
I'm gonna see here. Roll call. We'll go back all the way to 11:15 this morning. Ryan Hall first in the chat.
Right
4:30 this afternoon. Jim Cox.
Ryan, you rock.
45 minutes ago. Our good friend Fruitcake Tony, host of the Fruitcake Tony show over on the Fruitcake Tony Network, co-starring Charles Greene.
I've heard of that guy. I have heard of that guy. Right on, man.
I have, yes. We got Earl in here. We got Terry.
Earl.
Always a pleasure.
Right on, Terry, you rock, Terry.
Right Mason on, Douglas in the house.
Mason.
Mr. BHB Jr. himself. Is that Bruce?
Right on. Bruce, good to see you, brother. Right on, man.
Yeah. We got Lee's in here. That'd be L Bars. We got Billy Baloney. Back from vacation.
Billy, right on, Billy.
Great to see Ronnie back. Graphite and Cigars. Good to see you, Ronnie. Hope you're doing well.
Ronnie. Good to see you, man.
Unbelievable's here. Awesome.
Right on,
GP page 2.
Right on, dude.
Who else we got here? Dave Chase.
Hey, it's nice to see you guys. Dave, right on. Who was that before Dave, man? I lost you, brother.
Before Dave Chase was that Graphite and Cigars? Or no, L Bars. Lee. L Bars.
Nice to see you, man. Welcome. Good to see you, bro.
Of course, Guitar Man 45. Great to see Bo in here.
Bo. Right on, Bo. Right there, man.
Who else? Ferd Burfel. Nice.
Ferd, you rock, dude.
Let's see, they're all talking to each other. Marsha Murray in the house.
Right on, Marsha. Right on.
Who else? Well, Charles 75N.
It's good to see you, Charles. Right on, Charles.
He'll be discussed this evening.
We're going to talk about Charles a bit tonight. His name is going to come up more than once or twice. Let's just throw that out there.
Doing a flyby, catching on replay. Hello from the replay world. Ryan, host of the OU812 channel there with Transtrem Thursdays and their Sunday Jam, which just wrapped up earlier.
I call him the King of Tone. That's what I call him. Good to see you, Ryan. You rock, man.
We got the legend himself, Hobo Roadie, in the chat.
Hobo, you rock, dude. I enjoyed that show last night.
Studio.
Hey, right on, man. It's good to see you.
See Blue Mox. Good to see you.
Blue Mox. That's a name I haven't heard before, Ben.
Yeah,
couple so far.
Newer on the scene. Cool cat, I will say. There he is.
Excellent. Very cool.
We got Symmetry in here. Great to see Trev.
Right on, Trev. Rock,
Gary, Guitar 1952.
Gary.
Hip Metalworks is here. Josh Tamberg is here. Paul McNary and the Cats are all here.
Excellent, you guys. Good to see all you guys, man. Right on.
Yeah. Who else? Lawrence Cash is here.
Lawrence. Very cool.
John Jane. Dan from Jersey.
John.
Love Dan.
Dan from New Jersey. It's been a while since I've seen you, Dan. Right on, dude. Right there, bro.
My knees hurt. He says, I'm here, but really I'm in the kitchen.
Cool,
Hello to the kitchen.
Right on, man. Right on.
Mark Dillon in the house. Tuning in from Newfoundland.
You rock,
Mark. Daryl B. Wow.
Patrick, right on.
Michael B. Live.
Daryl, right on. Michael, jeez, dude. Right on, guys.
River Docs.
Hey.
Great video he put out yesterday. Yesterday? Was that out yesterday? Friday.
Cool. Cool.
REO Speedwagon. So Gary Riffraff? Gary. I'm terrible with names.
That's why I can't do the trivia shows. Rich Rat.
Cushman is here.
Right on, Cushman.
Bonkers, Blackjack Guitar, Taylor 315.
Right on, Bonkers. Blackjack.
Wow,
Right on. Taylor. Cool, guys. Right on,
and
man.
I think we're caught up. Oof, man. Yeah.
Amazing.
That is moving, Bruce. Oof. All right. Yeah. So if you got any questions, comments for either of us, use the @ sign or, the question marks in the front, or stand out with a super chat, because that does stand out. Jim comments, saw REO in 1979. They were great back then. I didn't realize they were around as long as they were, Charles, just to randomly talk about REO Speedwagon.
Around for a minute.
They formed in 68?
Yeah.
I was like, what? And they had a slew of albums before they made it big, as it were.
Yeah. It's amazing they actually stayed together that long, because their success was very well. You know what they had? Interesting. They had a core success in a specific region, and they rocked it for a very long time before they broke out of it. So I get it why they kept going. Thank God.
Yeah, obviously they had enough of a following that before the lineup that really broke through, they replaced their bass player, but that was after the release of a live album. I'm like, you're not marginally successful, Charles, and release a live album. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Somebody
talked them into that.
It could be a regional success,
By the way, just a side thought, every time we talk about REO Speedwagon, I start talking about Gary Richrath. David Nesdahl, rest in peace. That is the reason he picked up and started playing guitar. Yep. Little piece of history there for you guys.
What's up, Rob Blackmore?
Right on, Rob. You rock, brother.
Jay Santiago.
Jay,
I missed him in here, but I see Ryan saying hi to him, so I assume he's in here. Or Ryan's just talking to himself. I don't know. No, there he is. All right.
Very cool.
Ryan's not crazy. Perfect. Unbelievable says, my first album will be a live album.
I was just reading that. I said, hey, that's awesome, bro.
So cool tunes made easy. I thought it was funny. Like the band Primus, they released one album, and then the second album was the live album of the first album. Perfect.
Whatever works. There is no one path, right?
Yep. That's right, Blackjack Guitar. Rest in peace, Dave Nesdahl. We were talking about Dave the other day. Bruce and I were catching up. We had a long chat about Dave. So
I would have loved to have heard that chat. That would have been really nice.
There was a few funny stories, and almost a tear or two shed as well, as usual. When
I understand that. That, bro. Right on. Do you have any certain agenda, Ben, or anything? Because
it's funny.
Either lead or
I always mention, karma's real. I mention that in all my shows. Karma is real, right? Well, it is. And you know how I know it is? Because I opened up the Instagrams yesterday, and I got you coming on, and what do I get popping up in my feed 2 days in a row? The first one is Mick going 10, little reel. And then the next day, he's going 9. I'm like, so I believe today is 8. So a week tomorrow, dare I say, the solo material drops? Like, why am I seeing countdowns? What are we counting down to? That's what I would like to know. What are we counting down to?
There's some people that can be considered like their favorite holiday of the season, maybe.
Oh, I never thought of that. Dang it. I'm hoping it's a solo album.
There's 2 things happening in the next 9 to 8 days, and one of them is Halloween, brother. Let's not forget Halloween. I'm just pointing it out.
Hey, okay, Ryan, you don't have to hold the wire, and I'm pretty sure that's not how you spell asphalt, because he put asphalt. Sure. Sometimes I wonder if he's just using voice to text, and the old iPhone or whatever he's on there, it doesn't quite understand the Tennessee vernaculars at times, is what I'm wondering.
There you go. Right on, man.
Unbelievable says Mötley live album. I don't think Mick would be promoting anything Mötley Crüe right now. I don't think he's so much for that. But I did also see an interesting came up in my feed. Don Dokken talking about Mick Mars, because they knew each other way back when, pre-Mötley days, and because they used to live near each other during mixed days with the previous band Vendetta. I believe was the band. Which
It's
is
amazing.
cool.
That's funny you mentioned that. You know, it's amazing how tight the infrastructure of the music scene was. And it didn't matter if you were doing punk or new wave or rockabilly or hard rock or that stuff that ended up becoming metal. Everyone really knew if there was anything going on that was of any interest or causing any news at all. Everyone knew about it very quickly. It was a very interesting time. It was funny. I was telling Ben a story that came to my mind. I was on a show last night, Fruit Take Tony, Brendan and Ed. I love you guys. We were just talking about the Go-Go's.
One of my favorite bands of that era and that genre.
Well, their origins are Los Angeles. They quite literally 79. They came up out of the hardcore punk scene. I can remember the original, and it's interesting how last night's show segued into a story that I'm going to tell you guys tonight. And it sort of mirrors exactly what Ben was talking about like Mick and Dawn, how they knew each other before. Can I go ahead and tell that story, Ben, or you want me to wait a little bit? Or?
No, let's go. We got 52 crazy kids already in here. Yeah, what's up, Gear Junkie?
Right on, man. Good to see you, Gear Junkie.
Hey, exactly, Bonkers. I was thinking, it's like, how about you play the glass saxophone while Charles tells the story? I'd like to cut your jib, Bonkers.
Well, we're doing a show last night, and we're talking about the Go-Go's. I was not the biggest Go-Go's fan, but my girlfriend, ended up being my fiance, was very good friends. Her and Susie were very good friends with Margot, the original bass player, who was as punk as it gets for a chick. Okay, we're talking hardcore LA punks. You couldn't get any harder. And the group that they ran with, which all the Go-Go's were in this group, were as grungy hardcore punk as you can be. And they were tied into the San Francisco scene. They were rocking with bands like X, and there was a couple of it was a band called The Specials, but that was like an interesting mix with them. It really wasn't as hardcore. It was interesting when they were getting in with The Specials. They were in the process of changing their image. And you want to talk about an image change? Good God Almighty! I saw them walking down Sunset Boulevard, 1979, maybe February of '79, when I was going to a show at the Starwood. Now there were nobody. There were nobody at the time.
Right.
I didn't give a shit. I couldn't. They were just another group of girls.
Just another local band, basically,
Except
right?
Margot was friends with Susie and Gwen. So, and I knew Margot slightly. I wasn't friendly with her. It's not like I'm telling a story about Margot and we didn't really know each other at all, other than we were with a similar crowd. We hung. And I wasn't a punk guy. I was telling the show last night, I'm not a punk guy at all. I'm a rocker. But my girlfriend was a punk. And she was a hot punk. Okay, so she swept me off my feet.
Hot punk chick.
That being said,
hey, we got a new member, Mason Douglas.
Mason, you rock, Mason.
Awesome.
Right on, dude. That
And
being
I
said,
should mention, any super chats that come in tonight go towards the girls' Christmas fund the rest of the month. So any super chats,
cool.
The rest of the month are going towards the girls' Christmas fund, folks. So appreciate that. Thank you.
Excellent. So we're on the show last night. We're telling these stories about the Go-Go's, and I'm remembering Margot, the original bass player. She was replaced by the bass player Kathy. We all know. I believe I got that right. And who Ed DeBrill is in love with still to this day. I swear. Anyway, just a shout out. And I got you, Ed. And I started having a memory of a situation of something that I've never talked about, never told this story. The end of this story, the original sort of core of the story was based around Mötley Crüe. And I told a story previously, like a year ago, of me and Robin were coming to the club, And I was showing up to work, came up the back stairs, and Nikki and Tommy are sitting about halfway up, and they've got this look of woe, as they usually did, on their face. Mötley Crüe drama. They were breaking up. They made the decision they had to break up with the girlfriends for a variety of reasons, and they were all pretty valid. They made the right decision. But I couldn't, I shared with you guys, I couldn't imagine breaking up with these girls. Wonderful girls. Beth, Vince's girlfriend, Debbie, Tommy's girlfriend, original girlfriends. These are the girls from the beginning, right?
Yeah, like the high school girlfriends, essentially.
Yeah. We're talking about the girls who took care of these guys. They owe an incredible debt to these two girls. I was just going to say it. However, that being said.
Thank you, Bodner Jams. He says, breaking news, Charles Greene is the most handsome man on YouTube. Evening, Benjamin.
Oh, no, Boner,
great, happy Halloween season.
You know you are, Boner. It's good to see you, man. Right on, dude.
Follow up, Charles 75M with For the Children. Appreciate that, my friend.
You rock, Charles. You absolutely rock, bro. So I told that story, and this was all at a kind of a pivotal time. It was all within a month or so of them being evicted from the apartment up on, Clark Street, the one that was the famous apartment from the whiskey. It was within just a couple of months of them doing what I consider their flagship show at the Santa Monica Civic Auditorium within 6 months. Rat was a thing. Robin and Susie were a thing at this time, just barely. Just barely at this moment. A lot was going on at the beginning of 1982. It's kind of crazy. And so hence to my story, because as I'm talking about the Go-Go's last night, I thought about this story while we're talking about the Go-Go's. So for those of you who know, there's a very famous Denny's on Sunset Boulevard.
Yep.
And it's known quite literally as the Rock and Roll Denny's. And 7 days a week, 365 days a year, 24 hours a day, you can walk into this Denny's and you'll either see a movie star or a rock star or a rock band. And if it's 3 or 4 in the morning and you're into the music scene, you can see a multiplicity of people in this place. It was live. It was way cool. I went there several times, I'll tell you some stories in the future about late night at Denny's and maybe some Barney's Beanery stories. We got a couple of Barney's Beanery stories. This one particular night, we leave the club and we head for Denny's. I believe the band that was playing that night, on this specific night, this was a Rat night.
Okay.
It was a Rat night, and about half the members of Rat ended up at this Denny's at 4 o'clock in the morning. Robin was there, Steven was there, Juan was not in the band at this time yet. And Warren was not in the band at this time yet. Hell, Bobby wasn't even in the band at this time yet. But anyway, it was still half a Rat. And as we get in there, it's going to be about 3:30 in the morning. And I'm sitting there in the booth, and I've got Gwen with me, and Robin's, and you just imagine a Denny's, a flipping Denny's. You can put about 75 people in a good sized Denny's. That's about how it is with booths and all that. And so here comes Tommy and Debbie. Here comes Vince and Beth. And they're sitting down in the booth next to us. Half Martha Davis from the Motels, half her band was in there. They were sitting in the booth. Right, there was a partition glass between me because we were sitting in the middle, and Martha Davis was sitting right here. Sitting next to her was Exene from the band X, punk band, killer punk band. At that time, it was kind of interesting. Comedians were blowing up at the Comedy Store. I'd get a knock at the back door. It could be anybody. I mean, anybody. It was crazy in those days. But in the Denny's that night, David Letterman, a very young David Letterman, sitting over in the corner, minding his own business. Members from the band Stormer, rock band Stormer, heavy metal band. The guitar player from Stormer, I think his name was
Quentin James.
I think it was Gary G. It's not Gus G. It sounds kind of like it, but he went to play briefly with Dio. He was actually replaced by a guy named Tim, who was the bass player for a band called Rock Candy, who was Vince Neil's band before. That's where they got him out of to get him into Mötley Crüe. So Rock Candy was the band that Vince was in just before Mötley Crüe. I happened to be sitting in the booth with the bass player, Tim. Stormer's over there. And Tim ended up going to Stormer. Like two years later, Tim ended up joining into Stormer. That's how tight all this shit was. And I'm thinking about this during the show last night. And so there's this guy named, I believe his name was Randy. And he was a brief lead singer, I think his name was Randy, in the band Rock Candy. Now, there was animosity, big time animosity between Rock Candy and Mötley Crüe. Okay, and this is now a year and a half into Mötley Crüe being a band. Give or take a month or two. So time had passed. Mötley Crüe was quite literally just a couple of months away from the world just opening up for them. It was crazy. But their life was shit right now. Okay, I just want you to know they were going through all kinds of stress, being pulled. So when I tell you stories about these guys, don't judge them for being assholes necessarily. They were dealing with a lot of shit.
Right.
But they kept their eye on the ball. Okay. So it's a wonderful moment. I can remember sitting there. We were all stoned. Stoned, drunk. I think we were drinking Bombay gin.
Yeah, I'll do it.
We were all just wasted. It was 4:00 in the morning. And all of a sudden, Vince, he's in the booth next. At this time, he was in the booth next to us talking to somebody. And the restaurant was very loud. It was loud. There's a loud bunch of people. And there's regular people in there too, a few regular people. It wasn't all, it was regular people in there too. It was very crowded, okay? Very crowded. And we were being very noisy. But Vince jumps up and he just dives on top of this Randy and just starts punching him right in the face down on him. All I see is Vince's elbow. And I'm looking over. I'm looking at Martha Davis, and she's looking at me, and I'm looking at Vince on the floor, and she's looking down there. And fucking Exene is screaming. Gwen and Beth weren't Gwen and Susie weren't phased at all. They'd seen this shit their whole they were very fine. I didn't even get up. All these other guys were jumping up and dealing with it. But the manager, I'll never forget it. He comes over. And so the moral to this story, you guys, is I was thrown out of a Denny's into the pouring flipping rain with most of Mötley Crüe, most of Rat, all of Stormer, Exene, Martha Davis, fucking half of Rock Candy. And David fucking Letterman, that little shit, was sitting over in the corner, covering his ass like this while the whole thing was going on. They didn't ask him to leave. That's one of my coolest stories from Hollywood. I've been thrown out of great places. I'll share them with you from time to time, guys. But quite literally within just a couple of weeks of that happening, the crew got evicted from their apartment. It was the end of an age. But the guys from Guns N' Roses moved right in.
Right.
Quite literally, just within just a couple of months. It was crazy. Oh shit, Duff McKagan was in there. Little fucking Duff McKagan, and oh fuck, what was his name? And he was young. I mean, young. They look like little young boys.
Sure.
Dave Navarro. I'll bet he was 14.
He would have been a kid.
I bet he was. No, he was 4. He was like 14 years old.
Yeah, I was gonna say he would have been a kid.
I was 20, 21. He was like 14. He had to be. He was a little kid. And I didn't get to really know who he was until, over the course of the next year or so. He came up exactly like Slash. Exactly like Slash.
Yeah.
They used to get into the clubs. I've seen Slash running through the whiskey and running through the Starwood and through Gazzari's, and I swear to God, he was 16 years old. He's not even supposed to be in there. I don't really understand how, because you had to be 18 at the times where I saw him. You had to be 18 to be where you were, and there's no way he was 18. I've done the math, so I don't know. There's a mystery.
We've got a celebrities flyby here, apparently. I hear birds chirping, and that can only mean one thing.
It means the man himself, the man and the mystery, is in the house. Quentin, how the hell are you, brother?
My knee hurts.
Oh, man.
You got to find a new name. He's already taken that name.
Cindy knee.
Cindy.
You want me to do my unboxing? All right, I'll do my unboxing. So I got one of these, just a little one, right? Which is right here. So that's a kind of a short one, not as big as that one, right?
Sure.
And I got one of these, which is fucking huge. It's some gel pack thing. You put
Don't
it in
sit on that; you'll get hemorrhoids.
And then you put it in the freezer, and it's got straps on it that can go, yeah, that's about it.
All right. Well,
Let's go.
Quentin, what's the prognosis on the healing of your knee, bro?
I think, did you ever see the movie Old Yeller? I think I'm Old Yeller, and
we don't want to fucking hear that shit, right? You know that.
This up, Sir Lawrence of the Pedal. Good to see you, my friend.
What's up there, youngster?
Good to see you, Lawrence. Right on, man.
No, it's better than it was a week ago. I mean, this brace just really, it's got like these rods on the side, so it keeps the knee nice and straight, and I can't, bend it. But I walked from my little Hyundai. Does it help when I point out that way? Because that's where my car is. It up to my steps without using my cane. I mean, I still hobbled like an old fat guy, but it's getting better. But it's still like, dear Lord. So I guess I'll call my family doctor tomorrow and get in to see him, see what he says.
There we are.
Oh, good,
I hope it heals fast. Been there with the bad knees.
But there's a joke going around that the orthopedic guy that jammed the needle in my knee, his name is Richard A. Sweet. So I'm seeing Dr. Sweet Dick for my knee. I was hoping to see Nurse Sweet Tits, but she wasn't available. So,
what's up, R2, R3, Lock and Nut?
R2, what's up, bro?
Right on, R2. You rock, bro.
Man,
Just fashionably late.
All the cool kids are in here.
Wayne McConnell.
Man.
Rob Blackmore, too. Wayne, it's
We
good
have
to see you.
56 kids watching here. Hit that like, folks. You knew, please subscribe. Road to 5K. I think we're like 68 away from 5,000.
R2 was live a little while ago going all widdly and stuff.
He knows all the like notes or something. I don't know. I just bend him in place if I hit
There's only 12, and I think he knows like 4 of them at least. So.
At least 4.
So yeah, the knees. I thought it was what do they call it? Pseudo gout. Like when you get gout, you usually get it like in your big toes or maybe a finger.
Extremities.
The
Extremities
pseudo,
usually, yeah.
the pseudo gout heads right for your fucking knees.
Oof.
So I don't know. They
So
gave me
this just came up, Quentin. You didn't like do anything to aggravate it, or I guess you did over time. You had to just by wearing your knee out, I guess. Right?
you know, I'll be 60 in March. Oh dear Lord. So, you know, for about the last month, it would ache a little bit, like at night, and then it would be fine. It did that, you know, every week or 10 days or so, and then just one day it started with this pain under my kneecap, because when your fluid starts building up and starts blowing up like that, there's nowhere for it to go, right?
That's right.
That's like I showed my sister the x-ray. She's a retired nurse. She said, well, sweetie, it looks like your kneecap's dislocated. I'm like, what? So, of course, I go to the orthopedic guy, and, you know, he jams that needle in your knee. And the good thing about when they do that is they spray a little topical on your skin before they put the needle in, so it doesn't sting so much as it goes in under your freaking kneecap.
Oof. Yeah.
Yeah, like that really helped. So
yeah,
there was some grunting and some yelling. There was some cursing, and
did you learn any new curse words or make up any new ones?
Some French words that I don't know where they came from. And
what's up, Mark?
Then I went out to the parking lot and peed on my steering wheel.
Damn, Quentin. Well, obviously,
I'm glad I didn't get that peeing on my steering wheel incident on video. That would have been. I would have put it on Facebook though, because you know me.
Right, yeah, that's the place for it. The face space.
Oh, man down. Reggie's learning how to fly, and he just hit the wall. You okay, buddy? Yeah, he's okay.
You might want to get him a helmet.
Give him a little parakeet helmet. So
yeah, less concussions that way. What's up, Melon?
Right on, Melon. Good to see you.
Oh, yeah.
Right on, man.
Yeah, but what they do with the fluid on the knee is they stick this big ass. Well, I can't even. It was like this long.
It's like a turkey baster.
And it's like that big around, the hole in it. Does it help when I do that?
Approximately.
And I made the mistake of lifting up and looking at it, and there's this big thing sticking out the side of my knee, right? I shouldn't have done that. But they screw on a big syringe, and then they suck all the herpes and shit out of your knee, right? And then they screw on another fucking needle, and then they shoot it full of, I don't know, cortisone or something under there. They gave me some anti-inflammatories and told me to suck it up and call me Cindy.
Ouch.
Yeah, that was not pleasant.
No, doesn't sound like it.
Quentin, can you still play guitar though?
No, I haven't played for, I don't know, since last week. I can't bend my fucking knee. I can't.
Damn.
Like when I go drop the kids off at the pool, I have to stick my one knee like straight out. It's real hard to. You ever tried to drop Dookie with that one knee sticking straight? Ben's going.
Yes, once. Yeah. This quality. Yeah, this will get me to 5,000 subscribers, folks. I know it. Yeah, it's quality.
This is real life.
Yeah.
And then you
ring that bell so you don't miss more quality entertainment like that.
You gotta fold the Charmin, you know, and then you could try to balance, you know, when you're kind of get up under there with the knee sticking straight out.
Neck wedges. I don't know.
I will not get that on video though.
Yeah. Just get some shims.
Oh dear Lord.
Yes.
Bo says someday Charles and I need to sit down and compare scares from the 70s and 80s, just like on Jaws movies.
Absolutely.
Bo has a few stories. I'm just saying, I've heard a few stories during the Water Buffalo meetings that'll make your toes curl.
Charles has got the most epic stories, man. I mean, come on.
He survived to tell the stories. Literally. Mark's laughing his ass off. Perfect. Marcia Marie says, try a bidet. Yeah, right.
Dude, if I don't like when you drop the kids off at the pool, if I don't like them splashing me, I'm sure the hell not going to get a bidet.
Yeah.
Is it get like a little air blow dryer where you got to sit there while it blows you off or something?
I don't know if you can say that.
Wow, can we go back to talking about stories from the Roxy instead of me dropping kids off at the school?
Jay Santiago asks, Charles, ever meet Frank Zappa?
Ah,
No, never saw Frank. Never saw him. He showed up from time to time, and then you'd hear that he was there. A lot of times I'd show up to the club, and mainly Charlie and Randy, because they're the guys I talk to every night, all night long. And they would tell me stories. I heard some Zappa stories. Hey, I remember there was one story. I mean, I don't really have any details on it, but there was if you go into the Rainbow Club and you go upstairs at the Rainbow, in the back of the Rainbow, there's another room. It's a VIP room. Nobody ever sees it. But he would be in there in the 70s with, I would hear the stories that, oh shit, I remember. Mario told me a story once with Frank Zappa, Jim Morrison, Robbie Krieger,
wow.
and somebody else. I think it was Janice. Now, Frank was young. He was young. When he first, came onto the scene in LA, they were all fucking kids. I mean, they were kids. It's funny. I tell stories about like young little Duff McKagan and Dave Navarro. That's basically the same thing we're talking about now. It's kind of funny when I think about it. But, oh God, you guys, I love this fucking story. I forgot this. Okay, so they're upstairs in the VIP lounge. It's 2:30 in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, if I got my time correct. It was very early in the morning. They wanted to close the club. They wanted to shut the club, and everyone was being asked to leave.
Sure.
Everybody except for the people up in the VIP. They were going to hang and stay because they didn't have to do anything that the rest of the club had to do. It was their own little world. And so down in the booth, the number 2 booth, if you're familiar with the Rainbow, you walk in, there's a number 1 and number 2 booth. Very famous. They're right in your face. Sitting in the number 2 booth is someone who refused to leave. He wouldn't leave. He wouldn't get up and fucking leave. And so I'm walking the back parking lot with Mario, and he's telling me the story. And I'm mesmerized. Every time I got with Mario, I specifically, if I was alone with him, I would ask him, I would find something to ask him about because I knew I was going to get a 15-minute story.
Right.
Priceless, right? And so he's telling me the story about upstairs, and they wanted to clear the club out, and they were going to have an after-hours private party, and he's mentioning Janice, and he's mentioning everybody we talked about, and then he says, but then one of the waitresses came up to me, and at the time he was literally, Mario was young, and he was the manager. He was there at the door. He was everywhere. He was handling everything. And the waitress said, there's someone downstairs and that we can't get him to leave. And he says, what do you mean you can't get him to leave? And he says, the guy will not even speak to us. He's on drugs, evidently, and he refuses to get up. And Mario says, well, let me see what I can do. Mario walks up to him, and he walks up to this guy, and the guy's sitting there, and he's looking right at him. And he said, man, what's your problem? And the man looks at him, he goes, I'm Jesus Christ. He goes, I don't give a fuck who you are. I'm God. Get the fuck out of my club. That was Charles fucking Manson.
Yeah.
That's the kind of stories Mario would tell me. And he's telling me that. I'm looking at him like, damn, you're the man who took out Charles Manson, man. That's just one of dozens of stories he would always tell. So rest in peace, Mario Magliari, man. He was one of a kind dude. One of a kind dude. I don't know why I went off.
Hold it in the chat. I saw that, Q. I saw what you did there.
Well, I saw that video there. They were talking about that club and the upstairs private room, and they had Ron Jeremy telling stories, about, and it's like, Ron Jeremy, really?
He was a fixture in the 70s.
Yeah.
Through when it was the prime of his porn era. I saw Ron a dozen times.
And they were talking about Charles Manson wouldn't leave, and the guy's like, I don't give a fuck who you are.
I don't give a fuck. I know he says I'm God. He one upped him instead of Jesus, and I'm God.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a true story. That's an absolutely true story.
What's up, Randy Price?
Randy, right on, bro. Yeah, Randy Quinton's here, man. You know, segueing to something else that's been going on, and I'm kind of glad Quentin's here and everybody. I've been out of the loop of like watching shows, and I mean, even in the last 6 weeks, even with Quentin, he's gone live a few times. I have yet to jump in live to a Quentin chat and get to go into the stream and talk shit. And I avoided it. It's not like I can't. I haven't been able to. And the reason that I haven't been able to is for the last 2 months, quite literally just about every minute, if I'm not, I've been faithful to Tony's show and haven't been missing anything there, but I've had my ass buried into my computer and the software and bias effects and trying to get my guitar to play on YouTube so I can jump in with you guys and play guitar and do it correctly. And you know what I mean. I'm not talking about playing some half-ass bullshit. I want it right.
Yeah, you don't want to be like me where I just use a room mic and crank up the amps.
I'm sorry, but I want more than that.
Yeah.
I want more. I want Steve from Boston. That's actually who I emulated.
I get it.
Steve from Boston, because he's got a great tone. Quentin's tone. I'm looking for Quentin's tone. Okay, that's what I want. If I could outdo Quentin's tone, I would do it if I could. Sorry.
Well, wait a minute, because I'm about to move. I'm about to move to bias effects. So just give me some time.
It's wonderful, Quentin. It is freaking wonderful. But here's my problem. For 6 weeks now, I have been unable to link my Focusrite with my DAW and OBS. And I haven't even tried yet to put Reaper into that chain because I want to. Reaper there's benefit to adding Reaper to that chain. Massive. We don't have to go into it, but that's what I would necessarily want. But I can't even get the thing to work. And when I say that it's not like I haven't researched it. Fuck, that is all I've done for 6 weeks. I have spent hours and hours and hours, and I've got it there. It's on OBS. It's active. The little green light for the desktop volume, it's active and it works. I can play the videos. I can play backing tracks. Mm-hmm. That's working. But bias effects, the Focusrite will not come on. I can't get my webcam to work. And it's driving me fucking crazy.
Are you any good at computers? Because I'm not.
No, of course not.
Okay, here. You know who Mitch Heyman is?
Well, get a load of this. So I know who Mitch Heyman is, and I just didn't want to bother him. I've been trying to get this on my own because I'm so close.
Dude, he will help you, no problem. It won't be a bother. Mitch is a good guy. Because I'm going to have him help me. If I can't get it, I have the attention span of a gnat, dude. If I can't get it working in 2 minutes, I'm fucking done. I'll go back to my RP360 and that Jay Hannon can kiss my ass.
And I feel that, and I'm right there with you, Quentin. That is exactly where I've been. And so my frustration level has been for 6 weeks. I really want to be able to jump on. I was invited to even come on with Ryan and the boys. I would love to jump in with. I'd love to jump in with you, Quentin. Fucking be wonderful. I'd have so much fun. Who gives a shit if you guys have fun? I'd have fun. So, anyway, that being said, that's what I've been dealing with lately. And so I'm sorry I haven't been really in chats and stuff. I've put hours and hours into trying to figure this shit out. But so now talking about Charles 75N. Mm-hmm. Charles is what a nice guy.
Well, and he just loves setting up interfaces.
Well, he's a computer guy. It's really obvious. And so I'm sitting here one day. It was funny. It was a few days ago. It was very recent. I'm going to tell you guys the last few days.
Yeah, because I was listening in for part of this struggle the other night. Because I was giving Charles a guitar lesson, and then you had called him, and I just sat there on hold for a while, which is funny because I'm just giggling away listening to the. I
was going DEF CON in here. I was flipping out. Anyway, so I come home one afternoon and I'm sitting at the computer for a second, and I'm getting ready to go back out to work. And I look at the computer and I'm remembering the night before and all the time I put into trying to figure this shit out. And so I shoot Charles. I was thinking about Charles. I said, hey, by the way, just off the wall, how's your computer skills? You got any idea how to blah blah blah? And he texts me back like in 5 minutes or something like that. And he's on his lunch break, got 30 minutes left. He says, give me a call. And so for the next hour, not only does he eat up the rest of his lunchtime, he gives me more than that. He spends an hour with me. We're getting into it. That just got him started, you guys, because he started seeing what I'm dealing with. And now he's intrigued and interested. He wants to solve it. He wants to solve it. He's a problem solver. And so then he gives me I forget all of it, but he calls me back. Maybe he's on with me for another 2 hours. I think the next day, maybe that evening, probably. That evening. And anyway, to the end result of it, after just dissecting this thing apart, we're still dead standstill. So thank you, Charles, for all that time and effort. My God, man. We thought we had it a couple of times. Everything is, I have gone to Focusrite, watched their tutorial on how to set up OBS. I've gone to OBS and watched their tutorial on how to set up Focusrite in OBS. And I've gone to several other websites and these are all, this is good knowledge. This is not bullshit knowledge. It's, it's correct. It's very confusing though. And even though I've learned a lot, I still don't have a damn guitar tone that I can put on YouTube. So that is my quandary. I just thought I'd share it with you guys. That's where I've been. I'm not ignoring you. I just can't be two places at once.
I don't use OBS anymore. I just go straight to StreamYards. But the thing with my setup is I have a Yamaha MG 10XU mixer, right?
Okay.
So the Digitech just goes right into one channel, the Rode mic into another channel, and then the mixer's USB to my tower computer, and it's all good.
Mm-hmm.
With OBS, there was like a 4-second, I won't even call it latency. That's just a delay.
Yeah, that's
well,
so R2, R3 is going to send me an older Focusrite that he has. So when I get it, we'll start from there. But I'm calling Mitch right off. It shouldn't be that fucking complicated.
No, it should not.
Man.
And the thing about it,
6 weeks, I can't handle 6 minutes of it. It better work after 6 minutes, or I'm done.
The problem is literally, I know nothing but a fucking click of the mouse. That's the thing that really pisses me off the most, Quentin. It's a click of the mouse, and but damn it, all I've done is click the mouse. I have fucking gone in and out of it. And Charles knows. He went right there with me. He went into the ditch with me and hung out with me for 3 hours.
What my God, no.
You work, Charles. Let me tell you what. But anyway, yeah, I wanted to share with you guys just for the hell of it. Oh, hey, a shout out to Mr. Christopher Silva. He hooked me up with a really nice machine shop, Flint, Michigan. This is a premier club in Flint, Michigan, guys. Everybody plays there. Thank you, Christopher. I love this shirt. Thank you, dude. I appreciate it. So today at like 11 o'clock, I come by the house. I worked all day. I come by the house. I get out of my truck. I walk up this driveway, come to the sidewalk, walk up to the front door, walk in.
Did I mention my internet sucks? Did I mention my internet?
Is that what happened?
Yeah, all of a sudden it went down. Well, that was pretty good. I made it 45 minutes. That's not like I'm on Charles' show this morning. Goes down 3 times in 10 minutes. So,
oh my goodness.
Well, it's trying to convert from that metric system signal you're sending out. He froze again.
He's froze again, Quentin. It's just you and me, Quentin. We're running the whole thing now.
Go ahead. You're walking up your driveway.
Well, I come to the front door. I walk in. I go into this room right here. Use the bathroom. Grab a couple of things in this box of stuff that I'm going to go install. 3 minutes maybe goes by. 3 minutes maybe. I go out the front door and I quite literally almost head over heels over this. It's a flipping huge box. So I get pissed off because I was in a mood, right? And I screamed back into the house. I said, hey, somebody dropped off a package. And I trounced off to my truck, took off, went to work. About 5 minutes later, my daughter calls me. This is for you. I said, what? Who's it from? Some guy named Charles Nugent. So I immediately are like, did Charles send me my guitar? Is he done with it? Oh, him and Ben are in cahoots. I'm coming on the show tonight. I got a guitar. I'm going to unbox it. How awesome, right? Well, come to find out, I sent Charles a text thanking him and, you know, telling him I think I'm wise to their plan. And he's like, no, this is something else. So I am absolutely, you got my full attention, guys. I would love to know what's in the box.
Right. Now, I will say, I'll just hop along for the credit on this because Charles showed me what it was off air earlier today. And he said, by the way, he says, I found this. I thought of him, had to have it. And I said, yep. And then he said it should arrive today. Yep.
Wow.
Open it.
Pooh Ninja in the chat, you guys. Good to see you, Pooh.
The legend.
Open it.
So, yeah, should I open it?
Yeah.
Give me a second. Let me get some. I'll be right back. I'll be right.
Wish I could, Josh.
Ben, we can hear you, but you're still frozen, obviously.
Okay.
Hey, it's Quentin James. What's going on?
I'm gonna try to. It keeps kicking back over to my home connection for some stupid reason.
So yeah, Ben's frozen. Charles never going to get bias working, and my knee still hurts. So you're
running the show right now, Quentin. You're in the driver's seat, brother.
Well, I'm having some Folgers with the flavor crystals in my dirty cup, but it's dirty on that side. It's not dirty on the side of the drink. There's Ben. How's it going, buddy?
Oh yeah, you guys are coming through fine. It keeps kicking back over to my home connection for some reason.
All right, Ben, don't touch anything now. You're okay.
All right, hopefully.
Okay. Charles has got. Why don't you highlight Charles? Let's see what he's got.
I'm absolutely. There's a big question mark around my head right now, you guys. I'm perplexed. I'm absolutely intrigued at this one. You've got my attention. It appears to be a picture of some sort. Okay. Is there anything else in here that I need to take out, or is this?
I don't think so. I think it's just the one thing.
Double check. I just want to know because you guys. That's not a pack a box, bro. Let me see. Where's that blade? Wow, this is really cool, you guys. Shoot. I don't know what this is.
Uh-oh.
Yes, Doug, it's my turn this week. And it's related to the dump truck that decided to take out the telephone pole down the road the other day. I've been dealing with intermittent connection ever since, and it's got worse today. They come out Wednesday to look at it.
Oh, you damn, Charles.
Right?
Ah, thank you. Damn.
He's like, this needs to be on Charles's wall, and I said, I fully agreed.
Very cool. I'm just show you guys this. Oh, it's got the black tape. Oh, this is great. Let me show you guys this. I don't know if I got the right.
So this is the show poster from not only the final tour, but the final night of the final tour.
That is absolutely killer.
Oh.
Thank you, Charles.
Yeah, New Year's Eve at the Staples Center.
Holy crap, dude. I really appreciate this, bro.
That's very cool. Yeah.
I've got a perfect spot on the wall for it, too.
He's like, I think Charles Greene should have this. I was like, you think? You think?
That's a perfect gift. Thank you, Charles. Thank you, dude. Damn, that's way cool. I appreciate that, Dan. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
What a great community, man. Tell you what.
Yeah, and that's the type of fellow that Charles 75N is. He comes across this stuff on the internet, and he's like, I know who needs this in their life. And
well, you and I have both
telling people when he does it, so stuff arrives unannounced, and at least you tripped over yours. When he did that to me, it was delivered, and Mark and I are hanging out all day. Did not even notice the package on the front step. And he texts me. He's like, So how are you enjoying the thing? I'm like, what are you talking about? What?
Excellent.
And then you go outside at 10 at night and find a package. See you, Martin. Have a good one, my friend.
This is really cool, man. Charles, you rock, dude.
Mm-hmm.
You absolutely rock.
He delivered one of his custom guitars to the customer today, and the customer was blown away, I was told.
Blown away. So you and I, Ben, have seen the headstock on the Chris Lock Donnie Ward neck that I sent you.
Yeah, and it looks amazing.
And it's a reflection of the rest of the guitar. I'm blessed to know you guys. I'm blessed to have this guitar.
And he's working on that kick-ass Warlock right now, too, with the animal print. Because
so cool.
If you're going to have a Warlock, Quentin, shouldn't it be animal print?
Duh.
Like,
otherwise, Charles's gift makes me feel kind of cheap because I'm sending something to a fellow YouTuber. I won't say who it is. It's a 2024 calendar from Sandy's Pet Shop.
Oh, so it's got to be going to Sean Pierce Johnson.
No, but that I need to get like 12 calendars. I need to send one to Henning, one to Sean, But the cool thing about the calendar is, like right around the month of May, it's got a shitload of stickers.
Nice.
Who doesn't like that?
Who doesn't like a bunch of stickers? I mean, come on. So yeah, I'll take that to the post office Monday. Let me see if I can give you a hint of who it may be. Let's see.
Is it international post or domestic?
Domestic. Just think of
Send back to me.
Send back to me.
Who knows? Who could it be?
He's going to open it and go, what?
I think you need to find like the was it like some kind of tourism, the sights and sounds of Louisville calendar, and send that to Sean Pierce Johnson. Nice big one, so he on display in all the Stomp Box videos.
I could go up to Walgreens parking lot and send him some used syringes. They're all around the parking lot up there.
Or do you just do your own calendar?
Ooh.
12 different themed poses.
The 12 months of Quentin.
Yeah.
Quentin, I would want at least 2 of those. And they'd make really great Christmas.
Oh, boy.
The perfect stocking stuffer, the Quentin James calendar. Nothing brings in the new year quite like the swapping of one to another of the Quentin James calendars.
Rob Blackmore says Quentin in his natural habitat.
Right.
Yeah, Charles, did you see the live stream of the fat guy with the busted knee riding the shopping cart scooter in Ghetto Kroger? That was pretty good.
I saw that.
I kept crashing into stuff.
Yeah, you did.
It's priceless. It's priceless. But I got to tell you, as good as this stuff is, Quentin, we just need you. We just need you healed, bro.
Yeah. This was quite unexpected, and dude, this was. I mean, some of the worst pain I've ever experienced. Like, wow. Like when I first went to see my family doctor, I mean, on the way there, I'm just like ready to scream because I should have had somebody take me, but I'm kind of stupid. So I'm sitting in the parking lot and I call them and I said, look, I'm going to the ER. First of all, I can't take it anymore. And there's nothing. This is help when I do that. There's nothing that they're going to be. They can't even do an x-ray there. I mean, they're just going to go, yeah, go to the ER. So I'm not even going to try to get out of the car. So, but I walk in the ER and this is at our major hospital, right? I see employees. I look in the waiting area, right? Nobody. There's nobody in there.
Wow.
So they said, don't even sit down. Just come on back. I'm like, okay, great.
When does that ever happen?
That never happens.
They're like, you're Quentin fucking James, right? And I said, goddamn right I am.
Mr. James, we've been expecting you. That would have worried me.
But once they gave me this big funky knee brace, I put that on and kind of stood up. I got a cane with me because of my back, right? So I stand up and I'm like, dude, what kind of sorcery is this thing? This actually feels better. I mean, but I think it just locks your knee in place and you can't move it. And yeah, the brace really helps.
I'm sure you must know who this is, Charles. We have a Taylor in the chat.
Hey, sweetheart.
Ah,
Yeah, that would be one of my daughters.
okay. So stop talking about dropping the kids off at the pool. Okay.
Yeah. Behave now. So welcome, Taylor.
Hey, Quentin, that's my daughter. She's heard it all, brother.
He's like, who's this Cindy knee? What? Don't even. Just. By the way, Taylor. No, who was it? Taylor.
Yeah.
My son's wife is named Taylor. Your old man has the best fucking story ever. Greatest stories ever.
She actually knows you, Quentin. She's been watching you back in the day. It's funny. One of the first Guitar Hack. I'm talking like 2-3 years ago.
Yeah.
You were popping in the chat. One of the first times I ever was on there, and she says to me, she says, "Who's this Quentin James?" And I said, "Well, I really don't know. I have no idea." But I thought, because you act so young, I didn't know that you were almost my age. I had no idea. I thought you were like this young kid because
I'm an idiot.
You're Quentin fucking James. And so anyway, it was just really neat. But she knows you. She knows you, bro.
Well, Taylor, I got a messed up knee, so I've just been hobbling here for. Oh, God, with the messed up knee.
There we are.
Yeah, so anyway, that's where I'm at.
We're working on the interface. You got a new framed show poster to put up on the wall. Love it. And a custom build on the way from Charles 75N. Who's, I know I think he's very close to doing the body. I don't think he started the body. I know he got the headstock done. That went well.
I think he started today, Ben, on the body.
Okay, he did start to. Well, that was say I know he delivered one today. Warlock is pretty much it's on its way, so that's good to go. And then because he always has like 2 or 3 on the go, and he started another project today too. I know he started yet another one today that I'm not at liberty to talk about, but he's using to taunt me. So that's all I know.
Well, I still don't own a telly, so there's probably a telly in my future.
That's what he's doing now.
Imagine that. On tellies, you got like 90% tellies out there.
He's doing crazy. Another telly. Imagine that. That's fine.
The hardware.
Thank you for the text first, and yes, can a fellow go back over here? I did see it, and thank you very much for the super chat burst. There it is, and Charles at the same time.
Right on, bro. Right on, man. The hardware for that guitar is just straight up FU tone. I will do the upgrade on all of the screws. All of them. We'll go titanium on those. I'm going to do some different colors. I'm going to make the guitar look. Now, so it's funny. Every guitar I've done for the last 4 or 5 guitars, I've been on this relic thing where I want those things to be dragged behind a truck. I want to see road rash and all of the good stuff, right? But not this guitar from Charles. This thing, I don't want to scratch it. I don't want to do anything because it's truly going to be just spotless. My expectations for this guitar are just incredibly high. I can't imagine actually having something better than the Bumblewolf that I just built from Chris. They're right on guitars. They're just right on. The body and neck marry up perfectly. You put the right gear on the guitar and you've got yourself just a rock machine. And it makes a difference. It makes a huge difference. At whatever guitar level you're at, I'm no pro, but I noticed a difference in everything I've done since I started playing guitars that were a little bit better than what I was used to.
Oh, and that was the thing. When you said that, I told you off air last week there over on Tony's channel, and that when Charles got in the body and neck from you, he's like, holy, like these are nice. And he's been buying a lot of different from various suppliers, different blanks here and there. So he's got an idea of what he likes. But he says, yeah, I'm like, I know.
It's shocking. It really is. How many necks has Charles had in his hand? How many necks has he grabbed? Are any of us? How many necks? The one off the Bumblewolf is a little bit different neck. It's not the same style of neck, but it's just as nice a neck. It's just as nice. It's just a little different. But the minute I put my hand on that thing, I was like, wow. Feels like an ESP neck. I don't know if you guys are familiar with ESP. They're compound radius.
Yep.
Typically, they feel really, really super. Well, this is not a compound radius neck. It's a straight 10-inch radius. But it feels so ESP-like, and it's thin, and its playability is just.
I know what you mean, because my Kramer was built in the ESP factory. So it's basic. You know, that was the thing. Back in the day, the import Kramers were basically ESPs.
Yes. And this guitar is spec'd after the import Kramers. This is where we're at. And so, and this is all stuff I've just learned recently from hanging out with you guys. So, yeah.
I just learned everything from Nesdol back in the day. That's it.
Excellent.
It all comes back to Dave, because that's how that works.
It's funny how that works, isn't it?
It is. It is. So I'm thinking to myself, all right, so we touched on Dennings. We touched on the Rainbow. No, I'm thinking, all right, let's see here. Did you ever spend any time at the Comedy Store, Charles?
Yeah.
Okay.
I used to love going to Comedy Store.
Got a story?
Nothing but good things ever happened at the Comedy Store. I would go there with friends. I'd go in and see. I have seen quite literally every comedian you can think of out of the 80s at the Comedy Store.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've seen everybody. I've seen Arsenio Hall, Cheech and Chong, Robin Williams, Sandra Barnard. Remember Sandra Barnard? Right?
Yeah, sure.
Great stand-up comedian. Fucking hilarious. Eddie Murphy. I saw David Letterman there, actually.
Right.
You know, that was his heyday. Richard Pryor, Roseanne Barr. The list goes on and on.
Wow.
Ironically, out of all those I just named, the most gracious, kindest, sweetest of them all was Robin Williams. Quite literally. I got to see him at the Roxy, just walking off the street. He was standing out by the side door, and he goes, "Hey, Mario, mind if I jump in between sets?" And, "Oh, yeah, go ahead, do whatever you want." That's Mario, sure. Right? And he'd jump on there, and he'd do 45 minutes to an hour of straight nuts, just like you let a balloon go and let it go crazy for an hour.
So mayhem
off stage, and he would have to unwind, and he would be like a top, just walking, spinning. He couldn't sit down. His mind was going a million miles a minute, and to watch him unwind for 15, 20 minutes was just weird.
See you, Rob.
He was a strange individual. He really was. He was unique. First time I think I told this story. First time I ever saw him, I was walking with Mario between the Rainbow and the Roxy. And David Lee Roth came out of the Roxy. No, I'm sorry, he came out of the Rainbow, and he had a couple of girls with him under each arm, and he saw Mario. And just at that time, I'd become friends with Robin Crosby. So Robin just happened to be coming right down Sunset, and he saw me. This all happened within 30 seconds. And so Dave sees Mario. He's like, Dave. So they go over and they're doing their thing, and I'm looking at David Lee Roth for the first time, speechless. I am fucking speechless.
Right.
And then I'm looking over at Robin, and Robin's, he met Dave. He knew Dave. No big deal to him. But Robin comes over, and I spin around, and I'm looking at Robin right over his shoulder. I'm looking at Robin Williams standing next to the door going into the Roxy. And it's like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It was the middle of the day. And I remember saying to myself, I said, I will never see two Robins standing in the same place at the same time in my vision ever again. Right. I remember thinking that. Sure as shit. It hadn't happened since. Yeah, that was crazy. That was fucking crazy.
Nice. You can see Absolute Mayhem tuning in from the North Pole.
Absolute Mayhem, you rock, bro.
He's way up there. Billy Baloney says he saw Drew Carey there in Cleveland in the early 80s. Pretty cool.
I love the Drew Carey show. That used to be one of my favorite shows. Guys, remember Titus?
Yep.
Remember that show? I love that show, too. I used to love that show.
What's up, Kurt and Christopher? What's up, Jen?
Hey, Christopher and Kurt. It's good to see you guys, man. Right on. Hey, Mr. Soa. Thank you, brother.
Nice.
Thank you. I appreciate that, bro. Very cool,
Kurt
brother.
5150. He's like the chief bottle washer there over at the end of the bus network. Yeah,
It's a fantastic show, Kurt. You guys got a wonderful
Wednesdays.
show. It's
Wednesday.
wonderful.
Wednesday. And sometimes Saturday.
Yeah, I wish you guys absolutely.
Is that could it be, Quentin? Could it be that's where that's going?
Not to Kurt. Not this one, anyway.
Oh, okay. Now, Kurt's more of the recipient if you get one of those funny looking bongs that you see every once in a while.
I could not believe that. I mean, they got like all these Slipknot mask things that the bong. I mean, every bong you could ever think, you know, like 7 foot tall. So help when I do this. It's 7 foot.
Yeah.
I mean, but the big penis bong is like, what?
That's going to be a niche market, you know. That's a.
So what do I do? Oh, I got to go live on Facebook. Hold on. Yeah, look at this penis bong.
Right.
Oh God.
Brian's back. Oh, Taylor, thank you. He says, thanks for the live streams, Ben. They're greatly appreciated, and Charles has the best stories. Right on. Thanks, Taylor.
Thank you, Taylor. You rock.
Appreciate that.
Ryan, how's the neck, buddy? You're getting shots like me. Actually, late next month, I get another shots to my spine. So I always look forward to that too.
Hey, that initial cortisone shot you got in your knee, how long is that supposed to last for? Is
I
that just
I don't know.
up in the air?
It sure didn't like cure me. You know, I think just getting that sucking all that fluid off of there, you know, brings the sweating down, and that's. But I haven't got a real good diagnosis yet. You know, I think they just kind of like they take X-rays and then take the fluid off your knee and then analyze that. And then they go in the back and they like get on their phone and start looking up, you know, WebMD, and they just come out going, yeah, I don't know.
Wow.
Ryan says epidural and/or surgery for him. Oof.
Yeah, I get epidurals. Yeah, I'm just putting off the surgery, dude. I know one of these days I'm gonna be reaching for some ketchup at Ghetto Kroger, and it's just gonna let go, and I'm gonna wind up on the floor. Yeah, all right. That's
Great. Hey, Christopher Villa. He has many stories from the rainbow himself.
Excellent, Christopher.
Nice.
You rock, dude.
One of our channel members. Great to see you. If you want to help support the channel, hit the join button down in the corner. Helps a fella out. Keith H. Super sticker.
Woo-hoo.
Awesome. Now I'll open up the YouTube chat to
Right
see
on,
what the
Keith.
super
You
sticker
rock,
is.
bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna share a recovery room with Ryan.
Get a group rate.
That's right. I can use headphones on my RP360 XP Mark II.
Nice.
Hey, you might have a couple of SDE 3000s, but my Digitech has drum patterns, so it's got that basic rock pattern that as soon as you turn it on, 120 beats per minute. It's the intro to Judas Priest Living After Midnight. You know, it's like that's the first thing you play. It's like, oh, okay.
Guitar Man 45 says he's in search of a 62 Telly.
Ooh.
If you're gonna find one, look in Nashville. That's where all Tellys go to die. Nashville.
Hey, my dentist called me one day and said, hey man, you want to come over and check out my 65 Strat I just got? Oh, go fuck yourself. It was 30 grand. Okay.
Oh, that's crazy.
I know.
Crazy.
That's the guy who had Steel Panther playing his garage, so he's kind of cool.
Well, he's got his priorities in order.
There you go. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
We will see on that, Mark. I probably won't be able to do Wednesday, but maybe Friday. Maybe. Weather permitting. Weather permitting. I've got a guy coming to work on the internet connection on Wednesday. Doesn't do me much good today and tomorrow, but hey, what do you expect?
You saw Kiss at Friday, dude. I've been listening to the Paul Stanley book, right? Well, he did, a video. It's like in 4 parts where he just reads the book, right? And
right.
All I've come away with is he hates like everybody, and he's the greatest guy in the world. I mean, he's just cutting on Ace and Peter and Gene, the entire book. Everybody sucks. And he does no wrong. It's like,
well, frontmen tend to have that kind of opinion, like, don't they?
Yeah. It's like, wow, dude, that's really not. You should have read that before you said it. I don't know.
Put forward by Gene Simmons.
Yeah.
Hey, I invented Paul Stanley.
That's right. I have the copyright to Paul Stanley. I have the trademark.
He does talk a lot of shit about everybody, and it's funny because everybody he talks shit about, he really needs everyone.
Cheers, Tony. Have a good one.
Right? Yeah. It's called Ego. Yeah.
Sort of like reading Stephen Piercy's book. That was interesting.
Tony, be well, brother. It's good seeing you, Fruitcake Tony, guys.
Later, Tony.
Take care, bro.
Yeah, host of the Fruitcake Tony show twice a week. He does Halenville on Tuesdays. Here, we can do the thing. He does Halenville on Tuesdays. Boom.
Hey.
Halenville live, and then oh yeah, there we are. Boom. See, because we're good. Then we got Show Me Your Pick on Saturday. Yeah, see, because that's not going to focus because it hates me. But then you find all these shows on the Fruitcake Tony network.
Is that the show where R2 never wins anything?
Yes.
Oh, that was brutal.
Oh.
R2, you freaking rock, and you are a winner, brother. I'm telling you.
And if you're really lucky, you can win guitar picks.
Oh, there you go.
That's a great guitar pick. Damn, that's a nice one. I've got one of those, Quentin.
That dude does make good picks, man. I think he
had a Quentin James guitar pick on the workbench. Every guitar that gets strummed on the workbench at the end of each setup video, Quentin James guitar pick.
Woo.
We're tearing apart. I say tearing apart, picking apart. Tony would use a different word. We're going into OU 812 on Tuesday. We're going to do a track-by-track comparison, something that some of us have been waiting to do for a very long time. I know it's going to be bittersweet.
Come on, focus.
There you go.
The greatest, my favorite shirt still on YouTube, guys. Right there, Quentin. I swear to God, man, it's brilliant.
Yeah, I got the entire collection. It's every once in a while, an envelope shows up, a Scooby-Doo stamp on it, and
Scooby-Doo stamps. Yep.
I'm due for a new Quentin shirt, personally.
Yeah, I got one of the first ones, and it's it pretty much starts to rub off,
Well, don't you kind of do that yourself?
It sure fit me better than that shirt Boner Jam sent me. Came from the Oshkosh Bagosh store.
You don't wear a medium?
I don't wear a medium toddler.
Right. Yeah, I don't fit anything from the Junior Miss collection.
Caleb said I need a stomach stapling. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Oh, that's best.
Girdle?
Yeah, girdle. Yeah.
I see. I don't know what's going on with R2, but all of a sudden I just see it smells like apricot. And I don't even know what I'm talking about. Okay. There we go.
You talk about doing your girlfriend in the armpit, and you just won't get that. People won't stop talking about that.
Well, we're going to go for about 10 more minutes here, folks.
I'm going to go now because I need to try to get up off this couch here and make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich or something. So,
Quentin, you take care of yourself.
Love Thanks for letting me come on, man.
Always a pleasure, Q.
Right on, bro.
Later, kids.
Be well. Quentin James, folks.
The Quentin James, folks. Nice. Jay Santiago says, I got my Charles Greene pick 2 weeks ago. Nice.
Excellent, brother.
See you,
I'm
Dave.
real happy with those things. Greg at Legend Picks is such a just a great guy. He's really cool. He's great to work with. I'm real proud of those picks, man. I really am.
So Tony wants so Tony wants the limited edition pick. All right. I'll put it in the pile here, Tony. Jesus, we're up to 4, 5, 6 picks I got to send out to Tony. He's just going through all my collection. Do I have to just start holding up picks and go, do you have this one, Tony? He's like, no. All right, put it in the pile.
That's how it's done.
Supposed to be some, I don't know, legendary pick collector, but apparently I got my own sub collection there. So Billy
it's
says,
funny, picks, man, guitar picks. I hang around Tony and Brennan and Ed, and they all collect all kinds of stuff. It's crazy, and it's kind of rubbed off on me now.
I try to limit my collectability. My problem is when it comes to picks, I have damn expensive taste because all the picks I want, well, I could probably buy a guitar for what the picks are worth. It's like like a Steve Clark pick.
Yeah.
They should be. The man passed away 30 plus years ago. They should be ridiculously expensive picks. So I get it, but that's kind of what I want, because all I want is the picks of all my influences type thing. And fortunately, I have an Izzy Stradlin pick, which again, a GNR era Izzy Stradlin pick is a rare flipping pick, and thank you very much, Tony. As well as I've got the Keith Richards and the Ronnie Woods as well, which thanks again, Tony.
That's it. That is exactly right.
Mellon asks, do I have a Tommy Hunter guitar pick? No. But I do know, as well as Mark Taft in the chat also knows, we both know one of Tommy's former drummers.
Very cool.
Yeah.
R2, R3. Brother, that Yngwie ability is all you, bro. It's not the pick. I'm just going to point that out. It's you. Not
it's all the pick. Yeah, it's all the pick.
You rock, R2. Shit, man.
Yeah.
Just wrapping up, guys. Thanks for inviting me back. I love coming on and talk to you guys.
Yeah, we'll definitely do it again.
Therapy or something. I get to bare my soul all the crap going on in my life, and it's going to work out. Something's going to break. I'm going to figure something out here, and I'll get to start playing guitar. I can't wait to play guitar with you guys. It's gonna
something will definitely happen. I'm thinking there's a couple people we can reach out to if we need to.
Do you see how calm I am about it, Ben? You see that? This calmness about me? It's all an act.
Keith asked, did you ever find your Mötley Crüe pick? No, I still can't find the Nicky Six pick. I know it's around here somewhere. I know it. I can guarantee you it's within 10 feet of me right now. I know that much because I lost it within 10 feet of me where I am right now.
You lost a Nicky pick?
Yes.
Bro, that's not funny.
I know. It's around somewhere.
Even with all the crap he's going through now and all this, one of the old engineers is out now talking shit, saying that he's bullshit about this and that.
Actually, he was defending it because he said, because Nicky's like, I don't remember playing those parts. He goes, yeah, because you were all fucked up, but I was there recording you. You recorded the parts. He's like, you might not remember being there.
Yes.
I was there, but someone had to be sober enough to. Hey, some Dave dude. What's up? Haven't seen you in a
it's
minute.
good to see you, man. Right on, man.
Bruce asked, does your cat like to play with picks? No, thankfully. Hair elastics, on the other hand, that cat snags all my hair elastics. She loves the hair elastics.
Excellent, you guys. Yeah, but anyway, that's pretty much all the news. It's news here.
When I do the studio revamp, I'll find the pick. And by revamp, I mean big cleaning. And I still got a big cab to move in here to fix the setup some more and stuff. I got another big ass cab. The one I did the video on, I don't know, a year ago, the big Fender cab from the 70s, it's actually sitting in my old bedroom at the moment just because I haven't got around to making room and get around to it eventually. I'll let us know. 1 week from tonight, we're doing the Halloween's group hang. If you'd like to join us, we do have slots available. The only requirement is, one, you have to email me in advance so I know you're coming. And two, you got to have a costume. Because if I have to wear a costume, you flipping have to wear a costume. That's the way that works. If I got to, so far confirmed will be myself and my sister and then a couple people that are definite maybes I've got so far. Well, three definite maybes. We'll go with that.
Excellent. What night
That'll
is
be
this,
1 week
man?
from tonight.
What night is
Tomorrow night, we're doing the Canucks with guitars, Terry, Trev, and myself, and I'll be playing a bunch of music, including worked out intro verse to one 80s hit. And then also totally remember the song I used to play with my band, One Day to Live, a cover tune. And totally remember that. I think I remembered everything but the bridge of that song. And who plays the bridge anyways? Don't worry about it. So I'll be playing it tomorrow night. It's a heavier tune. Because I play it in drop C. That's right. So there's that.
Excellent.
Yeah, that's right. And no, naked isn't a costume. That's already been brought up, Terry. Thank you, actually, for mentioning that. Invited Bruce on. He said, to show up naked. I said, no, you won't. No, you won't. That's already been done on this channel. He ain't doing that. So.
What night is it you're talking about specifically? What night of the week?
Sunday is the group hang. Mondays will be me playing. Also, I got one demo coming up so far shot this week. I got to shoot some more demos this week. Or restring. We'll see. I don't know. We'll get out for content because my days have been kind of busy lately, so we shall see. And plus, if my internet keeps going down, it's kind of hard to upload videos with no internet. So,
everybody's having weird problems.
Yeah.
Just the other night, we were coming on the show, and my volume was through the roof, and we couldn't hear Tony, and he was doing things, and he'd say, "Can't you hear this?" And we'd be like, "No, we can't." And then he'd do something, and we'd all hear it, and he'd be like, "I can't hear this." It was weird, and then it corrected itself.
Twig and berries are not a costume. Noted. Exactly.
No, not a costume.
Yeah, and then we got some other stuff coming. I got to work on some more guests for next month. Don't know yet. Got to book them. I have an idea of one or two people that'll, regulars of the channel, much like Charles here, that'll be coming in for their, touch and base. Josh asks, who's my cell provider? Telus. Telus is my cell provider. Been with them for 20 plus years. So, yeah. On that, I got a few irons in the fire, as they say, and I was going to try to get, I'm all to say, I was trying to get Pete Thorne on coming up soon, but he's off to Japan next week, so I'm not getting him. He's going to Japan for about a week, and then he's back on tour again, so missed that window.
Good for him. He's such a nice guy.
He is. He deserves to go to Japan for a week to unwind. Tell us internet sucks. Yeah, I don't have their internet. I just have their cell service, Patrick. They don't offer internet in this province.
Hey, it's good seeing you, Mark, too, man. You rock. You rock.
Always fun hanging out with Mark. Excuse me.
Hey, so again to Charles75, and thank you, Charles.
Right?
For that beautiful gift, my bro. I'm going to.
How cool was that?
It'll be on the wall, guys. I'll show it to you one more time. It's going up on the wall.
Here, let me solo you out here.
Very nice, Charles.
Yeah.
Absolutely rock, my brother.
So, fun fact, we never thought, I'll say this, but we'll wrap up. We didn't think, when Mötley Crüe came back the last few years that Mick would be able to do it because we know the shape that Mick's been in.
No way, right?
And watching the interview with Don Dawkin, he was talking about that because he saw them, I want to say, 6 times on that tour.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, he would go back to the bus. And for those who don't know, Mick had his own tour bus. Now, I don't know if they all had their own tour buses, but I know for a fact Mick did because they looked, and Don described it as it was a mobile hospital room. Complete with IV bags of painkillers and stuff like that. And
it wasn't choice, it was necessity.
Yeah. And, Don asked Mick how Mick was doing. And Mick said, well, my neck could either freeze with my head pointing up or it could freeze with my head pointing down. Fortunately, it froze so it pointing down so I can still see the neck of my guitar. So that tells you what kind of...
He's incredibly transparent.
Yep.
Is incredibly transparent about what he's going through right now.
Yeah.
Wish him all the best.
Yeah, and he's I think I'm thinking some new music coming out from Mr. Murs. That's what it sounds like, and
that's all I ever wanted.
Yeah. And it was interesting too. I will say, when they talk about Mick's playing, Don Dawkins said underrated player, but similar to when, let's say, other good guitar players will talk about Eddie, he said forget about his licks and blah blah blah, and doing the Eddie Van Halen tapping and stuff. He says he could do all that. He said, but as a rhythm player, he says Nicky may have claimed to have written a lot of songs, but Mick wrote a lot of those songs, and a lot of those rhythm riffs was all Mick.
Mick gave those lyrics that Nicky came up with. Nicky came up with basic riffs and structure for his brilliant lyrics. But Mick Mars was the fucking backbone of Mötley Crüe as far as
if you listen, if it's riff bass, you're not writing those riffs on a bass. It's too murky, Charles, right? You know what I mean?
Possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. So. His lyrics are absolutely fantastic.
And it turns out that
Mötley Crüe without Mick Mars.
Melon, thank you. Ankylosing spondylitis. Don Dawkins' brother has the same affliction. That was something that they bonded over, apparently, Charles, back in the day.
Ankylosing spondylitis.
Yeah, because he's like, oh, my back's sore. Don's like, what's up? And he says, I have this disease. He goes, well, my brother has it too. So they were able to talk about that. So on that note, definitely, we'll do this again, as we will, folks. And please, make sure you're subscribed, ring the bell, make sure it's wrong and all that stuff, and click the join button to, become a channel member, exclusive content, plus off-air Water Buffalo meeting group hangs. Charles has been a part of those, and they're fun. They're a lot of fun.
Better than fun. They're priceless. Yeah. They're priceless.
They are.
Hey, to all the people that I know out here, I love you guys. It's good seeing you. To all the people I just met in Ben's chat, it's nice meeting you guys. Rock on, and I'll see you. I'll see you again real soon.
Yeah. So be good, folks. Hold those doors open. Let Charles in ahead in traffic.
Yeah.
Do good things. And, happy tone chasing because Doug's wife is real, and be good to each other and don't litter. Just don't. Oh, I.